Well, hey there, it's Catherine. Welcome to day 3 of the release week for the Stamp of Approval Young Art Collection. This collection is all about birthdays. I know for me that is the biggest reason that I make cards, so I thought a whole collection about birthdays would be perfection. So today we are going to look at Bring on the Cake. I affectionately call this the Crooky cake. And then it's the stamp set that I haven't shown you yet that goes along with the dies. And then I'm going to use the Harley and stencil. We're going to do a couple different things with this. And then we'll pull out the Young at Heart stamp set again and use some fun sentiments from there. And you know, I haven't talked about a couple of the sentiments, and I've talked a lot about this stamp set, but I don't know if you guys have noticed. Here, take a quick look. Can you see? There's numbers on there. So there is a sentiment that says, you're not old, you're blank, plus shipping and handling. Isn't that hysterical? And then you can put 29, 39, 49, etc. And then there's also a question mark and then again. So you can do 39 again. So there's a lot of fun that can be had with this set. All right, so I'm about ready to make a couple cards. How about you? So for this card, we're going to use the greetings from the Young at Heart stamp set, and then the die set, which you have seen quite a bit so far. Loving the die set. And then the stamp set that goes with this die set. I am absolutely head over heels for this stamp set. This little Crooky cake is just delightful. It's so much fun, and ooh, I love it. And then the Harley and stencil by Winnie and Walter. So the first thing I'm gonna do is stencil. I'm gonna use translucent embossing paste. And for the Stamp Nation members, we are in the middle of our stenciling class that they get for free. It will be for sale later this winter or early spring. But we have been learning so much about stenciling, and it's been such a great class that we decided to actually extend it. And so we have a couple weeks left of that. We were putting up a tutorial every single day, and then we did 3 last week, and then I think we're going to do 2 this week and 2 next week. So there's so much to learn over there from the tutorials and from the design team and from the members themselves. So it's been a really great class. So this translucent embossing paste, you can see it's kind of like slippery looking, very shiny, and it's going to dry to a really nice clear gloss. So I'm gonna pull this up quickly, bring it to my sink and wash it, and then we'll set it aside to dry while we work on the rest of the card. I'm gonna show you quickly this card. How much fun is this cake? I love it. So I made kind of like a little bit of a party scene here with the streamers from the stamp set, and then the little confetti and the hanging streamers from the die set as well. Now let me show you the dies. I worked with Wendy and Simone on designing the stamp set, and the illustrator Simone worked her tail off to make this die set have as many dies as possible, and I think she did an amazing job. So let me show you how this cake works. So we're gonna, well, many ways to stamp this cake, but here's one. You can stamp a light color, and then we're gonna get the same shape and size, and we're gonna stamp it in a darker color right on top. I'm gonna do that with a couple different colors. I'm gonna try a little bit different combination. Let me try yellow for the solid, and then I've got the stripes, and we're gonna do Turquoise Sea by Gina K. Let's see how that comes out. On this card, I did light purple, light pink, dark pink, same with turquoise. So I just did color on color. You can also, obviously, just stamp color on white. And then we have Bubblegum Pink by Hero Arts, and we're gonna do Raspberry Jam on top, both Hero Arts colors. I'm gonna grab my Big Shot and I'm gonna show you. We made the dies just about, well, maybe a tiny bit smaller than the actual cake layer. And we did that because we thought you might want to punch them out without a white border around them. And then they're pretty easy to line up. If you don't get them exact, there's a little bit of kind of wiggle room in there because the stamp is bigger than the die. So you can see on this pink, you can see how the die is smaller than the stamp. So let me explain again what we did with the dies and stamp. So you can see there is an outline on the cake layer. So we thought if you wanted that outline, you could either just stamp it straight onto your cardstock, or you could stamp it and then cut out. But what if you didn't want that line around? Then you could cut your cake layer out and get rid of that line. So it adds a little bit of versatility and creative freedom on your part. And then also you can cut out first and then stamp. And because the stamps are a little bigger, it's really easy to line these up and get that image stamped right onto your little layer. So now I have two really fun Crooky cakes, one that is just stamped color on white and one that is stamped color on color. And then when you check out the die set, we have tons of other things to embellish. So we have these little flowers and the candle, and then you could even use this bow to make these a present, and you'll see several of the design team members have done that. And then this little piece right here, let me show you what that's for. I cut these out already and I want them colored. I'm just going to run my Zig marker. This is light blue. I could have also just cut this out of colored paper and not worried about having to use my marker to color it. So now these guys are colored, and I'm gonna add a little bit of liquid glue right here. And then we'll just lay this on, and it's kind of like little dots of frosting. And then for the second layer, you're going to want to cut off about 2 little circles there. There. And so when I put my cakes together, I like to use just like a little strip of paper and just glue them to that strip, and it works pretty well. And then I have a little cake that I can put dimensionals on the back of and pop it up on my card front. I set my cake aside, and I'm still waiting for that embossing paste to dry. I'm getting a little impatient because I have family members in and out of the house, and I'm trying to get this video done. So I'm like, hurry, embossing paste dry before everybody comes home and this place becomes a zoo. So I am just cutting a frame right now. So I have the frame dies, both rectangles. One has a scallop, one has a stitched edge, and then I'm doing one inside the other, and I'm cutting 2 sheets at once. I hope this goes through all the way, please. Oh, it did, yes. So I feel like if I did 2, it's just gonna give it a little bit more oomph. Kind of feeling like I should do 1 more. And then, of course, I'm going to save these for another project. I ended up cutting out 2 more, so I have 4 total to layer. This will just give a little extra dimension and thickness to this frame so that it just is a little bit more substantial, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I see that my inner frame here is a little crookedy. I'm not really worrying too much about it because these are going to be stacked, and I think they'll even out and you won't really notice it. I hope. Those of you with OCD tendencies, which I'm not gonna lie, I have OCD tendencies for certain things, but not something like this. I think the recipient of this card will be super happy and pumped, and even if she does notice that it's a little crookedy, guess what? It's handmade, so I'm not worrying about it. Now I've got my 3M mounting tape, and I'm just gonna cut really thin strips to put along here so that this will be able to pop off of my card. I'm kind of probably putting this on here a little premature because I'm gonna have to put it aside and hope that nothing gets on this sticky stuff while I'm finishing up. I guess I don't need to peel that back off yet. Well, there we go. You know, sometimes when you're crafting, you do something and then you back up for a second and go, wait a minute, why did I do that? And you guys get to see all of that on video. How about it? Still waiting for that to dry. It's almost there, but I'm really waiting it for it to be super, super dry because I am going to sponge on top of it. So, you know, if it's tacky at all, that's going to cause a problem. If I wasn't sponging on top, I could probably assemble my card, but with the sponging that I'm going to do, that wouldn't be good. So in the meantime, I'm just finishing up another card, and I thought I would just turn on the camera and let you guys see. So I'm doing black soot distress ink and sponging in that stencil. And then we'll peel this back and reveal the really cool stenciled pattern. Oh, I love that. So here is how the card is shaping up. I did a white card base with a little black mat just peeking out. I decided to do this layer this way, and I love how it fits on a 4 by 5¼ inch layer. And one thing to be careful about with the Distress ink and black look, because it activates when it gets water. So like if your hands have any moisture on them and you rub against, I think that's how that happened right there. So I'm just gonna have to bless and release, bless and release. All right, so let me show you a couple more stamps in this collection. I'm gonna do the streamers, and there are 2 in this one stamp set, and they're fun because you can kind of, well, you can do them straight or you could form them to a different shape because they're fairly thin in that way. So I'll do like a light purple also. I'm gonna go with a black candle on this one, so I'm just gonna ink up the candle part in black and then just dab the flame on my butter bar ink pad and then stamp that there. And then I've got dimensional on the back of my Crooky cake. We'll add that right on there. Some little glittery flowers. And then we'll just assemble. And I think my embossing paste should be dry by now, I hope. Fingers crossed. You know, one last little thing that I think this needs is a happy birthday. Right down on the bottom. And we're done. So here is my translucent embossing paste stenciled piece, and I'm gonna use picked raspberry, and I'm gonna sponge right over the top. And you can see how that embossing paste resists the ink and stays white. And then I'm gonna bring in peacock feathers. I'm gonna turn it and start from the bottom and go up and meet the pink. We'll get a little bit of blending action between the two and get a little bit of a purpley color. When I'm blending colors like this, I always like to go back and forth between the two a couple times just to get a really good blend there. I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to rub over the top just to remove any ink that is on the translucent embossing paste and get that looking really nice and white. I'm not going to cut this layer down at all. I'm going to have it cover the entire card base. And when you do that, you want to make sure you line it up pretty well. So I really like using liquid adhesive for this because then you can kind of move it around a little bit and make sure it gets lined up right. Now I'm going to grab the frame that I made, pull off all of that paper, and we'll just lay it right in the center. This will give a really nice, like, kind of grounding for the cake and the greeting. I've stamped happy birthday to you from all of us on 2 little strips of paper. I've added a little bit of mounting tape on the back there so it will pop up a little bit, and we'll just assemble this. Try to make sure this is straight. And then we'll add the cake. And that does it for this card. So let me pull in the other ones that I did. And then I actually have one more. So I did a really clean and simple card with just the black with the ring in the celebration, and then some fun colors on the cake, and then some different color combinations here. So you can see how fun and versatile this collection is. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait till February 3rd. I know you guys are excited too. So thanks for being here. I'll see you again soon. And don't forget, tomorrow is our blog hop. 2 people are gonna win their very own Stamp of Approval collection. And then Wednesday it goes on sale. So thanks for being here. See you guys again soon.